What I'm going to do today is not a spoken word performance, it's a poetry recital. Well, priorly, I'd like to say something just a little before I start. This poem is related to our present situation as Muslims, as people in the world. It's just like realistic people are not people that are taken too serious, and people who are somewhat unreal are the people that are considered maybe more important. It has deteriorated to the point that sometimes, before you feel like you belong to some circle, you have to obtain some materialistic things, like sometimes when someone goes to an event, they look at her shoes. Is she wearing her Hermes? Is she, using a Bulgari bag? Is she using the latest phones? Things like that. What car is she driving? Who are in her circles? How much is her outfit, And sometimes we women, we tend to slave ourselves, trying to fit into that category to society we made ourselves to be into. And it's so sickening and sadistic that the real is the person that is somehow abashed of his reality. It is so sickening that sometimes when people even go out to eat, maybe you go out for a lunch date or a dinner date with someone. As a lady, you just eat half of the food and feel like if I finish it, he'll think I'm a hungry person or something like that. When Islamically, we know that, wasting food is haram. And other things like that with extravagance, so many things. So it just motivated me to write something very little about how we actually detach ourselves from the reality and dwell our minds on the things that are not even important, the materialistic. Thank you. Okay. Though I am also at fault at some of the things I'm going to talk about. Thank you. I do not wish to preach. Preaching isn't my thing. I'm not fully learned, nor adequately ignorant. But is it a funny or sad era we belong in? When she should be okay, pretty, but she's only okay when sexy. When she should have potentials, but she got a banging body. It's all they could say, because that's all they could see. We see differently, yes. We think differently, yes. She was humorous, but they wanted licentious. So some deploy their coquettish phrases and provocative body languages. A language so dishonorable it needed no translation. On some days, she feels horribly good, and on some, she feels wonderfully awful about it. She wanted to be more, but society crippled her spirit with pessimism. Some aren't risque by default. They just allowed their greedy desires enslave them. Admitting their dislikes to these games of filth makes their claims sounds of lame untruth. While some hide their pious deeds, not for nobility, but for the fear of being ridiculed or called extreme. So they cloak it like some act of shame to avoid the shameless commentaries of ridicule embedded on the platter of ignorance, leaving one to wonder in profound confusion on how the society shames the effortful, yet celebrates the shameful. Just as we are expected to leave our plates half full at a date, but what fools are we trying to oppress the ignorant? For a learned soul would say, please take it away or finish. Oaked for wastage is sin. Just as how we neglect the hijab for an occasion in order to avoid stirring unwanted attention and save ourselves some tension. Why should we not proudly say, we want to go to Saudi, but Maldives? We call ourselves Muslims, but real Islam sinks like a mirage to our withered limbs. We sin, we lie, we pretend wonderfully, cheat unapologetically, harm discompassionately, yet we claim to fear Allah immeasurably. We sin differently, yes, yet we scrutinize another hypocritically. We do many things wrongly with pride, yet wonder why our society is in turmoil when we are our own problems. Thank you.